this is just some random observations and just things I've noticed about being in Phuket, Thailand. And I'm an American, okay? Hey there, this is Lequita Travels. I document how small intentional decisions create freedom, flexibility, wellness, and a work from anywhere life. So I'm walking from breakfast, staying at this resort in Phuket. I've been here about, I don't know, since like May 2nd, so maybe like a few weeks, maybe like 2.5 weeks. It is rainy season, so that is something to take into consideration if you are thinking about coming to Phuket. I'm in May of 2026, so this is a rainy season. It is still gorgeous. Things are, wet. You still see and you have the beautiful birds of paradise and all the things. But there are some days where it just rains a lot and all you can do is just like stay at the resort. So one thing I really respect about this country is that, so in the United States, it's like, land of the free, all these things, and we're like a melting pot in the US, which I guess people like because everybody just do what they want within reason. And we have different religious practices and all that. The cool thing about Thailand is that it appears that they have one religious belief. So I don't know what you call them, but they have these beautiful temples where people go to worship, and then also just in different places, in front of restaurants, in front of stores, even sometimes in like just open pieces of land, they have these miniature temple places where you can like worship, where they have like sticks and like kind of like a shrine type of piece of artwork where you just walk up to it. And even like where I'm staying at, there's one right in front of our building. I wish I should have walked up there to the front to show it to you all. I would have thought about it. But they are like everywhere. So it's kind of like everyone's, for the most part, everyone has the same religious beliefs, and this is what the country believes in, and this is what you're going to practice. And if you don't, I guess you could practice something different. But they have these like everywhere. So that's one cool thing about Thailand, where you go to certain places, they have I guess you could say they have like their own identity in a sense, versus the United States. It's just a little bit of everybody. So we don't really have our own identity. Also, even when individuals from the Thai culture, when they come to like clean your rooms, they always leave their shoes at the door. Like they don't wear shoes inside of the building. And it's like, okay. So like I started taking my shoes off like at the door because that's just part of their identity. The Phuket Smart Bus is like something is biting me up on my back right now. The Phuket Smart Bus is a great resource. It travels along the coastline. So you have Rawai Beach, Karan, Kata, Patong. It even goes all the way to the airport. So it's very economical. It's only 100 Thai dollars. And honestly, I rode it one day, like for an entire day. So from Rawai is kind of like on I guess you could say the furthest end of Phuket, away from the airport. So I literally rode it round trip from one end, from Rawai all the way to the airport was like 2 hours, 15 minutes. So I literally rode it for almost like 4.5 hours, which is like forever in a day. But I just showed them my same ticket and hopped right back on because I literally just wanted to just ride it all the way around just to kind of see the landscape. So that's a great resource, but it runs along the coastal areas. So it's like kind of like the outskirts. So if you just want to go go to different beach areas, then I would highly recommend the Phuket Smart Bus. It is dependable. It does have like a charger on it. It has AC. You can charge your phone. It has AC and it has Wi-Fi, and it's dependable. Highly recommend it. One of the things I noticed is that a lot of other foreigners like myself were actually riding that particular bus. I didn't see it didn't appear to be a lot of locals riding that bus. Now the local transportation, baby, that's a different beast in itself. That local transportation is not dependable. I did catch it from Nai Han Beach, and it took me to Shillong, so I went to go view the Shillong Pier. However, when it was time for me to come back, I waited at least 2-3 hours because it was cheap. It was only $50, but I just couldn't even get a ride to get back, so I had to catch a Grab to get back to my residence. So Grab is AKA Lyft, Uber that we have in the United States. They have Grab here, which is nice. Now, one thing I didn't know about Grab the first time I took it, thank goodness, I keep cash on me, but I booked it and I was like, oh, that was weird, because I didn't put a credit card on file, because I just, even though I have one of those Wise cards, I just didn't want to like chance it, because it's like, you know, in the United States, I know how to navigate when I have a fraudulent charge, all those things. But being here, I was like, I don't know how to navigate, so I'd rather use cash. Well, I booked the Grab. I get to my location and the person's like, okay, you can pay with cash. In the United States, they don't roll like that, okay? In the United States, when you book a Lyft or you book an Uber, your credit card is on file and they take the money, okay? So I get to the destination, the person's like, okay, now you gotta pay with cash. And I was like, oh shoot, because I was wondering, like, when am I going to have to pay? Thankfully, I had the cash on me, so I paid with cash. So that's something to be mindful of. You can't put your card on file. I don't trust it. But you could definitely do that. But if you're not going to put your card on file, don't be alarmed. They accept cash, and you just have to pay them at the end of your ride. And I always try to have like exact dollar amounts just to keep things clean, because if they don't have change, I don't want to have any issues. So I normally just I normally just have exact amounts of dollars. And you're not going to catch any Grab for less than 200 Thai dollars, which is roughly, I don't know, just say roughly $6-7 US. So even if it's a short distance, the minimum is going to always be 200 if you go by car. Now they do have the option to where you can like go by motorboat, like motorbike. Motorbikes is like a really big thing here. However, I'm not a motorbike type of gal, but definitely, you know, motorbikes is really big. I've never rode a motorbike, so it's probably more economical. If you're into motorbikes and you don't mind hopping on one, then go enjoy yourself, okay? Go rock with it, roll with it, have a blast on a motorbike. Or they even have the Grabs where a motorbike can come pick you up, and they are a little less, but once again, I don't trust it. With all the cars that I've had or I've rode in for Grab, they've all been decent cars. Another thing with Grab to be mindful of is the cheapest Grabs is only for like human pickup. Like if you have like luggages and all that stuff, it's not for that. It is just for you to have transportation to get to and from your destination, the cheapest Grabs. Now, if you have luggage, then you need to book the Grab. That might be like, it's gonna be more. It might be like 400 or 500 Thai dollars to ensure that they're gonna take you and your luggage, because it specifies it. So that's something else that's different, because in the United States, if you just book a ride, you know, you just book a ride. Here it's not like that. If you're gonna have luggage, then you need to book the more expensive. I'm not saying it's expensive, but it's just gonna cost a little bit more. Another thing to, I guess, keep in mind is when you're booking a place here, I would say only book 2 to 3 days, because it seems like in Phuket, ants is a thing. They have like these really little ants. And the first place I booked was an Airbnb, because for me, in my mind, I'm like, okay, I want to be safe. I want to just be able to get to my destination, have somewhere, you know, steady to stay. I don't really want to have any issues. So I booked my Airbnb for a month. Bad idea, because literally as soon as I arrived, there were ants. I mean, everything worked out. Airbnb was great, got my money back. But from that, I kind of, I think from that, I didn't even stay the night at that place. I literally booked the Grab immediately. And that's when the situation happened with that Grab. That was literally my first day there after traveling 35 hours to get to my Airbnb and see ants. And I think I stayed in the Airbnb for maybe like 2 or 3 hours just to find somewhere else to go. Had the Grab come pick me up, and they took me to they took me to like a resort nearby. And at like freaking like midnight or something crazy. And like I said, thankfully I had cash, and matter of fact, the resort had to give me some change for me to pay for that Grab. And after that, that was a valuable lesson that I learned. But only book a place for maybe like 3 days max, I would say, just so you can kind of feel the landscape, see if it's a good fit. And my original place was in Kata, and I think Kata might be cool. It seems like it's a little more busier. And then the next place was still in Kata, because it was right down the street from that. And then I ended up being in Rawai, which is at least, I don't know, because I stayed at the Rawai place for like 2 or 3 nights. And Rawai is about 35 minutes, I would say, 35, 40 minutes away from where Kata is at. And since I like the resort, and after all the whole hustle and bustle of having a bad experience first arriving, I just went ahead and booked here for the remainder of my month of being here, because I love the resort, and it was just like, it's good. So love the resort, love the place. If I could do it again, I don't know. The one downside about being in Rawai is that it's a little further out, so it is stuff to do nearby. It's a walkable area, 7-Elevens nearby, grocery stores nearby. There is a beach, not a swimmable beach, okay? Rawai Beach is not swimmable. It's not you cannot swim in that beach. You can only walk that beach. It's a vibe. But yeah, so Rawai is a little further out, so I don't know if I would actually stay in Rawai again. The only reason I would stay here is if I stay at this resort again. But it's a little further out. So those are just, I guess, a few like little random things that you don't really know until you're here. Versus Qatar and Quran are definitely beaches where people swim at. I will say, if you are in Rawai, depending on your resort or where you're staying at, they might provide transportation to a nearby beach like Naihan or even Yari. I didn't like Yari. The flies were attacking me. But it could have just been me. I was smelling too good. I don't know. But you can get free shuttle to Naihan from some of the resorts. So that's not really, I guess, bad in a sense, since Rawai is not a swimmable beach. Other places do offer, the resorts do offer for you to get transportation to a beach where you can go swim. So yeah, so I would say those are just a few key things. So, all right, this is Lequita Travels.